Let me go ahead and also appreciate the raid. What's good, everybody who's new? This will be up on YouTube if you miss it. Go ahead and hit. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to KMF Radio. We're back here with another episode. It's been like 500,000 weeks because being an adult is tough. But we back. You already know what it is. We got the boy, one of the OGs, one of my OGs. We got TK Breezy in the building. What's good, bro?
What up, y'all? Just I'm saying, just got finished slapping some Monster Hunter myself. We are that I didn't realize how many hours I put into that game before, because I feel like I'm putting a lot of hours into it now, and I just now hit HR5, so right, it's gonna be a little bit. Let me be a little bit.
I'm doing this right now. Let me go ahead and see how many hours I got on Monster Hunter Rise. Let's see, on the Switch version, I got about... Damn, I haven't played this game. 95 hours. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's really not that much, bro. What the 95?
Come on, bro. That game ugly as hell. I played that.
Well, that's fair. Okay.
I stopped playing that game immediately, bro. Like, that game ugly as hell. So for those of you who are new, basically the idea is I bring on some of my friends, some people maybe I don't know that well, and we try to have a conversation about things that they don't really get the time and the opportunity to talk about as much, because they may be what I find is that a lot of people who are content creators specifically, they're kind of pigeonholed and talking about certain things but I know these people outside of that, and like they're into a bunch of other stuff. So that's kind of what I want to talk about with you first. Is I think one of the very first things that you and I really, it does not surprise people when I say this. I am 95% certain that when you first met me, you did not like me. But I was annoying as hell back then, so I understand. But one of the things that we bonded over very early on is the fact that we're in a lot of the same music. We have very similar musical tastes. So what are you vibing right now, bro? What's in the playlist right now?
I feel like, I've been learning Spanish again, because it's just a good skill to have.
That's right.
And obviously used to have it, moved from Maryland, nobody fucking speaks Spanish. Well, nobody speaks Spanish to me, at least in North Carolina, so it's all gone. And then I came to Texas, and people do speak it, but not a crazy amount here. It's kind of like you're white or you're a Mexican immigrant, according to the Texas people. That's what they think. Like no in between.
There's no other people. Those are the only two people that exist.
So I was like, all right, word. So I've been learning that again. So because of that, it means I've been listening to more, reggaeton again. So back on that grind. But if we're talking about English speaking music, I've been listening to a lot of Giveon lately. Dance Gavin Dance. Mayday Parade again, because we went to go see one of their concerts recently.
Oh, how was that?
It was actually pretty good. I was kind of I came at the wrong time though, because apparently it was the anniversary of their fourth or third album, whichever one. I didn't like the least. Now, it wasn't a bad album. I didn't, I didn't expect to come to a concert and hear only songs from that album. So
that's tough.
That sucked, but it was still, they're really good live. So not mad about it. Saw T-Pain live recently. That was good. Yeah, that was good. So then I started listening to his music more again, obviously. And then just outside I've been listening to Bad Bunny, Wisin and Yandel, Rakim Kenway, shit like that.
People, I'm like, yo, bro, like, you remember? I actually talked. Somebody was like, bro, Bad Bunny the GOAT, Bad Bunny the GOAT, and I was like, did people forget Daddy Yankee is the GOAT, bro? He really was out there, bro. Like, Gasolina was the first song that I ever knew about that before white people. That was the first song I ever knew. I was like, y'all late. Like y'all. I was listening to this on the Spanish radio 3 weeks ago. Y'all late as hell.
Yeah, but Daddy Yankee apparently he's retiring.
That's tough.
But that's that's after 40 albums. I mean, I don't, maybe it is time to go. Like you've done everything you needed to do in the reggaeton world.
Daddy
like,
Yankee is the Tom Brady of fucking of reggaeton, bro.
Yeah, but Tom Brady said he didn't retire because he didn't win the Super Bowl, right? So now he got to come back and do it again.
Yeah, that's cap.
I hate Tom Brady, bro.
Why? What happened?
Because, bro, like if he had he won, had the script been fulfilled, he wouldn't have said shit.
That's fact. That's
now
fact.
He's like, well, hold on now.
You ever want to talk about how he went home and his wife was like, "Nah, you got to go back." That's crazy.
Imagine that.
That's crazy. You go retire. Yeah, babe, I'm gonna spend all this time with you. No, you're not. You better go back to work. Sitting around. So I think a big thing that, and I'm all about giving people flowers, bro. Like, as you know, like I'm not the type of person to, like, sit here and not give people flowers. I think that your ability to be open about certain aspects of your life, I think I know from people telling me is very admirable. And I guess the question that I have is, because that's very difficult for a lot of people, given the fact that you're like on camera all the time, all this stuff, especially over the last, I don't know, 5-6 years. Before you were on camera a lot, but it wasn't as big as it was now. Like, do you find that it's easier now to take care of your mental health now than it was back then, or was it much easier back then when like no one was watching?
I'd like to interject this question by saying Daddy Yankee does have indeed 10 albums. Anyway, it's easier now because I didn't do it before. Like,
it's true.
Yeah, like I just didn't know, as we talk about this I say this all the time, but as a black man, like you don't really get taught about like mental health and stuff as you're growing up. So I didn't really like start tackling it until I was 25. I'm 32 now, so but I knew that something was wrong by the time I was like 20. Probably even earlier than that, to be honest. Just didn't know what to call it. So it's easier now because like I don't care what you think about my mental health. Like, if you think like depression is a sign of weakness or whatever, like, all right, well, there's millions of depressed people in the world. I guess they're all weak, right? But at the end of the day, I'm trying to handle my business, and I know there's people out here who are like too afraid to try to handle their business out loud because they're worried about what people think. But if I don't, me in my position of having all these like fans or followers or people who know of me, at least knowing like what's going on in my life like that, if I can do that, then you in your position, which probably don't like, for most people wouldn't know as many people or wouldn't have as many people know who they are,
right.
Then like, yeah, go about doing that. So yeah, I would say it's easier now only because I've actually learned how to do it. And like been less afraid to like take certain steps. Like when I first started doing that, I didn't want to take no meds. I was like, no meds, none of that stuff. And then we've been shopping around meds and stuff, and like you just gotta pay attention to your body. And so I've been on at least like 6 different ones, but they were like most of them were short trials. So like I've probably been on 2 altogether for like a long time.
Right.
But we've tried some other ones to put on the side or tackle other things, but their side effects were too much. So I got off of those. So now I have one very good working one, and then I just kind of like do other stuff lifestyle wise to try to help. So like, I take more walks, I cook now. I have goals that like I try to accomplish stuff, just kind of keep myself busy and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easier now for sure. Like in general, like for people, because people talk about it now, like you were saying. Because back then, like, like, you know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody really talk about that. Do you find that given that, I think a problem that a lot of people have, and I've had this problem myself, is that worry, that fear that no one else is experiencing what you're experiencing. Do you find that when you talk to players, content creators, whoever it is you're talking to, do you find that is a conversation that you are able to have, even like when you're talking about like, hey, like I can't do this, or I can't, hey, I can't take this other booking. Like I've been working for 4 weeks straight every weekend. I can't take a 5th one because then I'll fucking lose my shit. So I got to take a break. Like, do you find that conversation was easier to have with like from a business perspective?
as opposed to a personal perspective.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really. That wasn't really a thing that affected me back then because we didn't start doing these like 5 week in a row things until like right before the pandemic. Like
Right.
I used to have like a tournament every other week,
Right.
like, and that was fine. But like now it's, you know, it's like every week. Uh, for the next, for me at least. I mean, looking at my schedule now, I'm going to Brawlhalla this weekend, Invitational, CEO, Gommel, Double Down, and then DreamHack or DreamCon. So 6 weekends in a row of work.
DreamCon, is that in Texas?
DreamCon's in Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and like, if there ever is a moment where I feel like I'm planning out, and I'm like, I don't want to do all this, I just will say no, to whoever hits me up. But since that is like the bigger part of my job, I do, like, I worry more about like losing a bunch of subs and stuff, but it's just kind of bound to happen. Some months you make a bunch of money from commentary and don't make as much from stream, and other months I'm gone once, and then I have time to like rebuild the stream. So, but for the most part, it's not a hard conversation to have with anybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up that. And I again, I'm trying not to talk about, and I don't want to talk about Smash specifically. I didn't play the game then, and I don't play the game now, so I'm not. But what I will say is, I think that, and I'm not, and you know that if I didn't feel this way, I just wouldn't say it. I think that people don't really understand or sleep on the fact that like you're very good. like you're very good. But I think what happens is that a lot of times you and other people in that echelon are held to a different standard. Do you find that it's difficult for you to continue to refine and continue to like improve even now, given the fact that you're so polished at the art of communicating about something that's happening on screen? Do you find that it's difficult, or do you find that it's just part of the process and you just kind of keep doing it?
No, I mean, there's always room to improve. I think for Smash in particular, it's probably small improvements, but like since I'm doing so many games, it's the big improvement is not mixing up words for like different titles.
Yeah.
And then also just I still have a stutter that I still have to work on, or that I have been working on throughout the time that I've been commentating. There's also other times where I feel like I definitely show emotion, like negative emotion toward things, like if a match is boring, and like that's not gonna be like. There's been times where obviously I've done like the absolute right thing when it comes to a boring match. We've commentated Sonic Dittos in Smash 4. We obviously did the Bayonetta Grand Finals at Evo. So there's been moments, but other times, if I'm like watching pools or something, you can definitely hear like levels of disinterest in my voice, which is like, shouldn't be doing that. But at the same time, why am I commentating pool? No, I'm kidding. I love commentating pool.
I'm about to say, I know you don't mean. I know you don't mean that.
I love commentating singles pools, not doubles pools, because those are a mess. But singles pools are funny.
Dubs.
But I think that you are correct in the fact that like I'm definitely held to a different standard because I've been doing this for so long. So like someone who may say like one good thing that I did not say will now get all these praise and shit because I didn't say it. But as I said, like I have a different standard of what I think is a good commentator or anything. Anyway, I don't care how much you know about the game if you're not fun to listen to.
Right.
So, and a lot of people who do know a lot about the game are not fun to listen to. Like they're they have this chip on their shoulder because they want to like know, they want to tell you, or they want to flex how much knowledge they have, but they're not doing it in a way that seems like you're actually being informative. It just seems like you're trying to like suck your own dick, and like that's not
right.
That's not commentary I want to hear.
No. I remember back at the Greenwall Xanadu when it was me, J-Dog at that point, like, but other than that, it was like you, Coney, Phil, and me and J-Dog, and Anthony when he wasn't in bracket. That was it. And I remember when I was super duper booty butt, and we were casting together, you got actually mad at me. Like you got actually, I'll never forget this. And I was like, bro, like what's like, because me, I'm just like, hey, yo, like you wanna, and you were just like, bro, just like you're doing a lot, like just stop. Now, I didn't know what that meant at the time, so I thought you were just being a dick. But later on, when I watched it back, I was like, I get it. I get it. I understand. When you said you're doing a lot, I'm talking about a bunch of shit that like, it doesn't sound like me. So I think when you say you have a different view on being a different commentator, I think that reflects in your work. Do you find that even now, given the fact that it's oversaturated, like, I talk to Zach about this all the time. It's way harder to get good now. It's way harder because it's a bunch of people who are bad only casting with other people who are bad, and they all think they're good. That's just my opinion. I don't give a fuck. I don't play the game. So, like, do you find that it's much more difficult for people who are, like, it's much easier to go from, like, a 3 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10, but it's much harder to go from a 6 to a 7. Do you find that that's more difficult now than it was, say, like, Smash 4 before that?
Probably because there's already, like, genre defined, like, or defining people.
Right.
So you're, like, matching up against them. You know what I mean? Like, you're matching up against me, EE, Coney, whatever. And even if you feel like, or you or your little, your little group chat feels like you're doing better, in the grand scheme of thing, if we were to swap, like, blocks, I don't think you would be able to, like, I don't think a lot of those people who have issues like that would be able to, like, garner a big fan base from a top 8 if I was expected to be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, like, I'm not saying that, like, there's no one should ever get another top 8, because I don't go to everything. I don't want to go to everything. And I do think that there are certain casters that do deserve better slots that haven't got them yet, mostly because those slots are usually filled with people who have, tried and true. But, like, people like Ajax, Hazmat, we'll definitely have to see them do. Well, Hazmat did his, he did a top 8 recently, but, Ajax, Hazmat, stuff like that. We'll definitely see them get some higher blocks and stuff. But I think that it's less about, like, you actually being able to be good, or it's just public opinion, man. Like, I know that if I swap spot with someone, if someone else is in my spot and I was trying to get big, that's the person I gotta go up against, and that sucks because you're like, the Smash community is always negative. I remember even when like we were kind of like pioneering and stuff, people who had no idea what they wanted to complain about were still complaining, like just to complain. So we Smash in itself is one of those games that, like, the commentary is made by the commentators. Like, it wasn't like, well, none of us went to school or anything. Most of us probably watched other, like, areas of commentary and was like, oh, that seems good, or whatever. And that's where you can tell, like, the different styles. Like, some of us are more FGC based, or freeform based, and you have some people, some of the newer crowd who you can tell probably listen to, like, CS:GO or League or something. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, to me, Smash has always been more closer to FGC and their, like, freeformness and whatnot. So when you try to come in and commentate in this game, such as like you're commentating League, it just doesn't translate well to me. But then again, I'm just another person with another opinion. So if your fan base likes it, then you keep doing you, because I never changed for anybody. I just did what I wanted to do, talk about what I wanted to talk about. I took some criticism, I learned from that, and just kept honing my craft based off of the things that I felt like was actual criticism, and not just people being mad that I exist. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, and that's very. Do you remember? It was New Year's, like, 2017 or 18, when when Nick was still living with you, I think, and I pulled up to your house, and we all were just sitting there for like an hour, and we all went to a different house.
Yeah.
That I thought of that randomly 2 days ago, because I knew you were gonna come on the show, and that's those kinds of experiences, not that one specifically, although that was funny as hell. I remember those kinds of experiences from actual live events are funny as hell to me. Like, I remember when Resliv ran your foot over. Do you remember?
At SmashCon? Yep.
Yeah. So, do you have, like, as we're getting back into events, and not just Smash events, but like any type of Brawlhalla, Tekken, whatever you're doing, do you find yourself during that pandemic or even since then or even now recently, do you find yourself kind of missing those, and how rare are those now? I feel like I don't hear many of those stories anymore from people I know who still go to events.
Now you don't hear those anymore because we're just not as like close to the community. Like I don't listen to, or I don't like talk to a lot of the top players like I used to anymore because they're young. Yeah, I'm 32. Most of the top players are anywhere between 16 and 24. We don't have similar interests, and I don't have an issue with that. Like, right. I don't need like to be friends with every top player. It's just like, I mean, I'm just being real. Like I hang out with my commentator friends, and if they're not all at the tournament, or if I'm not, super social that day, then I'll go do something else. Like I brought my PS5 to the last Brawlhalla event I went to, because like, well, Brawlhalla events are like, they're in studio, so it's like,
yeah,
it's different. You don't go to like a whole whatever. But once I was finished working, I literally just went back to my room, played more Forbidden West, and like that was
game slaps
fine for me. Game slaps. Yeah, it was fine for me. I had no issue with that. I had fun. I did what I'm still actually have some more stuff to do in that game, but beat it, or getting close to beating it, whatever. And like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I'll still go out to go dinner if somebody hits me up or whatever. Right. But for the most part, I look for people that would have more similar interests to me. And then when I think about the common smasher and myself, outside of this game, we don't really share that much in common. I don't really watch a lot of anime. I don't care for K-pop, or a lot of K-barbecue or anything like that. Like I like, outside of like Smash, I'm a pretty normal human being. Like I be watching like, all the normal stuff. Watch sitcoms. I like rom-coms, comedies. I watch all the Netflix good stuff. That's what I watch. So you don't ask me about.
You were watching the one where they were like, yeah, like we're all gonna get all these hot people on this island, and then after they're all like looking at each other, we're gonna tell them they can't fuck.
Too out to handle.
Yeah,
too out to handle.
That shit. Yeah. I saw one episode of that, and they were all tight. At the end of that episode, they were tight as hell.
Yeah, that's a good show. That's my jam. But like, yeah, don't ask me about no Jujutsu Kaisen, but you can definitely ask me about some Too Out to Handle. We can talk about that. So, and like, I'm not shaming nobody like that. I just did not grow up in anime like that. Like I have my, few that I did like. I watch, if I do ever watch anime, it's usually sports animes like Kuroko no Basuke and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But for like growing up, I only really, was Dragon Ball, Tenchi Muyo, stuff like the basic Toonami stuff. I never went out my way to go find any other stuff. And even now, like I still will try, someone gives me a recommendation. I kept up with a decent amount of Attack on Titan, right. And then I just stopped. It was like 25 episodes in, I was just like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this 26th one. And then I just didn't.
Hey, you just, hey, I'll come back tomorrow and think about it. Nope. No, bro. So, and speaking of like, growing up, and that's something that, again, I'm trying to get people to understand specifically about these people who are content creators, and at times they seem larger than life or behind a screen. That, growing up for you, just take me through that a little bit. What was it dope? Was it boring as hell? Was it what was a young, TK bro, before all of that? What was that like?
Like what was it like in high school and shit?
Yeah, like, just like, yeah, let's go high school, because that's basically when you start practicing being an adult.
Like I definitely had not much to do with like gaming in itself. Like I definitely did game,
yeah,
but it wasn't like a major thing in my life, because back when I was in high school, being a nerd sucked. So just it wasn't a thing. So I had other interests. I sang. I still sing. I danced. Stuff like that, like hip hop stuff, choreography and stuff like that. And just in general, I was just a pretty normal teenager by the end of high school. Unfortunately, I was skinny, and I'm in the South. So I'm skinny, outgoing, and in the South. So a lot of times, fucking like the remedial class kids, not the remedial class. You had those like that like group of like badass kids who actually end up having their like own thing, because they weren't like autistic. They were just bad.
Yeah, they were just they weren't in need of accommodations. They were just shitty. They were just shitty people. Yeah.
Yeah, well, those people always had an issue. They were just like, I don't know, find me out and like try to tease me. Oh, this man gay, this man gay. So one day, probably around 11th grade, I was like, bro, y'all been doing this for a year. I think you niggas are gay. Like, and so that was back when it was a real bad insult. And I was like, because you worried a lot about my sexuality when like, for what though? Like it shouldn't affect you either or unless you are also gay and you're trying to fuck me. Never again. Never talk to me again.
Never. You water bended like shit. Like you like
yeah. So and so like that. The thing is like that has like never ever bothered me. Like I don't care like what you think of me. It's just annoying to. I feel like it's always annoying to be labeled something you're not though.
That's fine.
So like if I was gay and I was hanging out with a bunch of women and like everyone was like, oh, you just doing that because you trying to fuck them all. That would be annoying as shit. Like so, but no, I am what I am. I'm straight up straight. I have feminine tendencies about stuff that I like. But that doesn't mean I want to like suck a dick now. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like if you want to go suck some dick, go suck some dick. You know what I mean? But like for me, like just don't. It was weird. So outside of that, yeah, I didn't really start doing gaming stuff until I was 18. Like gaming stuff with like tournaments and stuff because I moved from North Carolina to Maryland to go to school, and I didn't really know anybody up here, so I started playing online. And then after I started playing online, I started going to real tournaments, and pretty much how it all started. But yeah, before that, I was just normal kid, and hung out with a lot of my like Puerto Rican friends. Didn't really smoke weed or anything like that until like 17. The first time I ever smoked weed, I passed out for like 3 days. So I was like, yeah, nah, I don't know about that. Like,
I'm good. I don't know what the fuck is in here, but like I'm good on it. Like,
so I mean, and now I can smoke.
Yeah,
I don't smoke a shit ton, but like I do smoke with that same in effect. It just kind of mellows you out, but I won't like pass out immediately, which is great because like now I can like watch a show mellowed out before just dying.
Yeah, you don't wake up and it's Sunday. Like, I feel that. Yeah, like a lot of people don't know you had a real job, for a little bit. Like, I'm always fascinated at people who had the moment. And what I mean by the moment where they go, yeah, this super safe, stable thing is dope, but fuck that. I'ma do this. But I like this infinitely more than this, but this is infinitely more risky. Do you remember your thought process, your emotional like what all because not many people get to have that moment because it's scary as shit, and it's against human nature in a lot of ways. Kind of got to be a little bit like fuck it, like you gotta be like that a little bit. So like, do you remember like what that was like when you said, "Fuck, I'm not gonna do this job anymore. I'm gonna focus on the commentary and being all that."
I just got really depressed at work, to be honest. I didn't like any of my coworkers. They were all way older than me. They were mad that I was faster than them. It was not the greatest work environment. So like most of the time I was at work, I was literally just like I had headphones like fully in, don't talk to me. I'm just gonna do my work, head down. Got that shit done within 4 hours. Spent the last 4 hours on Facebook and Twitter, and YouTube and stuff. And then just one day I was just, I don't know, super depressed. I was like, this shit sucked. So I stopped going to work for like a month. Just straight up didn't go to work, didn't do nothing. I wasn't like, it wasn't even like I was streaming either. I was just like in bed, like just depressed. Right. And eventually I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna go ahead and like call in or whatever. So I called in. I was like, yeah, I want to get out of here. And they were like, okay, do you like want to like come back and do therapy or whatever? And I was like, okay, sure, why not? I came back and did therapy, and they were like, well, what can we do to like, make it easier for you to want to go back to work? And I was like, well, that's not the right question to ask. So then I was like, never mind. And then I put in my 2 weeks and just left. I left earlier than I should have. Definitely a very, very dangerous thing to do that I did. And I wouldn't recommend anybody else doing it without like a better jump off point. But I feel like I probably wouldn't be here if I didn't leave. So,
right.
Like on this earth, if I didn't leave. So that needed to happen. And yeah, I mean, like the first year sucked, but after that, everything was pretty good.
Yeah, that moment can be insanely terrifying. Like that shit. Again, not many people get to have a moment like that where they can say fuck that and do this. And I think you've had maybe not to the same degree or maybe, but you've had multiple instances of that. Like you've moved several times, you've done full-time streaming multiple times, you've put yourself out there in multiple situations. I think that one of the things that makes people successful is the inability to be afraid of failure. Like, or to at least run away from it. Do you find that, because you talk about this a lot, how shitty it is at times for someone to stream as part of their job. And a lot of people, like when I was teaching, that's all kids wanted to do. So I want to be on Instagram at that time. I want to be on Vine. I want to be on TikTok. I want to be on Instagram. I want to do Twitch. I want to do YouTube. And they don't understand that at some point the thing you love becomes a job. Does it feel like a job at this point, or is it still like in that in between, or like where are we at with that?
What, streaming?
Streaming and commentary to an extent, because it's all kind of wrapped up into one, I guess, for you.
Commentary feels less job. Like it feels like a job I like to do. Streaming feels like a job I like to do sometimes because I don't. The keys just don't make sense. I mean, there's times where I'll stream for like an hour, and get 35 subs doing nothing, and then there's times I'll stream all day and get no subs, and it's just like it's annoying, you know? Like, yeah, it sucks, and you know, like there's times where like obviously there's stuff that I want to do that like I feel like no one else cares for me to do, but then there's stuff that like I kind of want to do, but everybody else cares that to be at, and then like that sucks because it's like I want that same chat that I have for this one thing in all my chats, but you know, you just can't get people to care, and like that's just part of the you know, the draw of, you know, maybe starting as one specific
thing
streamer and then going over to other stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, it's, at the end of the day, like, I mean, if I'm gonna give up anything as far as like giving a shit, it'd be streaming first because I found because I found like a actual industry job that I want to do. And then I would stream like whenever I felt like it. If I was like, you know, I'm gonna play some Monster Hunter, like man, maybe I'll hang out with some homies. Cool, right? But now I don't really care about my subs because it's like this is not my main source of income. But unfortunately right now, and kind of fortunate. I mean, it's not my main source, but it's definitely what pays pretty much all of my bills. And then after that, I get to keep all the rest of the money that I make throughout the month. So that's nice. But you know, it's not always like that.
Yeah, I think it's just I just, you know, so do you, but we know so many streamers at every level, people who are up here, people who are down here. I'm gonna ask this question. You could tell me not to ask because it has nothing to do with you, but it's based off a conversation I had with Zach and Mel. When you heard that about Phil, were you surprised at all?
No. I was already calling him out from, like, I called him out myself. Like, I went to his stream. I was like, there's no fucking way you know Neolithic. He was like, my dad. And I was like, your dad's a pilot. Okay. At least that's what you told me. And I was like, I'm not saying he can't be both, but you also said you didn't have a good relationship with your dad. So I just don't believe that, like, the first thing that y'all gonna do is study fucking history together. Like, that just... Dad, I'm glad that you're back in my life for these next 20 minutes. What say we
Let's go.
The book?
Yeah. Can we talk about the evolution of man, please, for a second? Hey, what is the time periods of history? Well, son. I was like, because Mal was like, I can't believe. And then I looked at Zach and I was like, what? What?
Nah, that's just his, you know, the scum, being a little scummy isn't his brand. Now this was too scummy even for his brand.
I agree.
But yeah, that's just kind of what he does, you know.
Right.
So sometimes, you know, like that's my man's, but I definitely still keep him at
Yeah.
arm's length of time.
You got to Heisman some people, bro. You got to.
Yeah.
I think there are so many, and that's why I kind of like, because I think now at this point, I hang out with all of y'all, and I say all of y'all, but you know who I'm talking about. Like, I hang out with everyone outside. Like, I'll go to tournaments and I'll be like, all right, hey, what day are y'all done? Because I'm going to show up that day, and we're all going to go get food. I say that to say, do you have, just kind of switching gears here, do you have, like, an event, a tournament? It doesn't have to be a tournament. It could be anything that sticks out in your mind as, like, man, that was fun as hell. Like, that was super. Like, the event itself was fun as hell. I had a really great time. Do you have like one or two up there that you remember?
I mean, summits now really. There's because the first summit back, like the first summit that after quarantine or like that we could do in quarantine or whatever, or in the pandemic, maybe not quarantine, but me and all the rest of the competitors got hired, literally got into one room and just vamped for like 5 hours straight. And that was like the closest I've ever felt to anybody ever since, you know, since like in the last, like, I don't know, 3-4 years of being in the community. Cause there's a bunch of like-minded individuals around the same age as me being able to talk about stuff that, like, you know, is that we want to talk about.
Right.
Without someone making some lame either smash joke or anime trope or, you know, some stupid like that. So definitely that tournament, the very first one back, and then Genesis is always good too. This last Genesis is actually great. You know, we kept going to that the guild house. The guild house guy the guild house owner gave us all jackets. That was lit. And yeah, it was just a good time all together. You know, got to hang out with all the homies. The after party was sick. I got to do some MCing over there. It's a good time. So yeah, I feel like those are the last two tournaments that I would be like, yeah, this absolutely slapped.
Yeah, you really like MCing. I remember talking about that. Like, you really like that shit. That's
not anymore. I did. Again, don't connect with the community anymore. So, like, it's just MCing for like an actual event is dope. Like MCing, like I was basically talking to you know, I was talking to like it had Melee people too. Melee people were closer to my age half the time. So but like I'm known and I know I have a good voice for it. It's just like, yeah, I'm not going to, you know, I know I'm not the most popular for that anymore because like I just don't connect with y'all like I used to. I don't care to connect with y'all like I used to because, you know, I come here, do my job, talk about the game that I like to talk about, talk to the people that I do like in this community, and then go about my business.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we old now. I say we like I'm going, but like we old now, like just in general, like
yeah.
It's like, what's the next thing you plan on cooking?
I think it's like bulgogi meatballs over rice. Should go crazy.
Meatballs.
Yeah.
Go ahead, slide me that recipe real quick.
Bro, I'll give you the picture from HelloFresh. You can just go ahead. And
HelloFresh? You're on HelloFresh, bro?
Bro, you not there when I was selling, like when I was peddling the boxes? I saw like 40 of them joints.
Deadass?
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody was about it. We got a cooking channel and everything, bro.
I remember when you were chefing up back at the old house. I remember that. You had the cooking streams?
Yeah, but then this is why you can never have nice things. So my first cooking stream had like 300 people in it.
Uh-huh.
Right. Then the second one had like 350, right? Uh-huh. Then the third one, like 3 of my female friends came over and cooked. It's like 500 viewers.
Yeah, yes, naturally, yes.
Fourth one had like 100. I was like, you niggas are fake. Y'all wasn't here for the food. Okay. So after that, I just kind of stopped doing it.
Tight, bro. I can see the mental image. You just be mad as hell, just staring at that number, bro. You just sit there sick, like with that face, bro.
Yeah. No,
the face of sheer disappointment.
My friends are hot though, so I get it. But like, come on, man. Like it was never about them for the first 2 or 3 or whatever.
Nah, they knew, bro. They knew they were pulling up eventually.
Yeah.
Like, oh, bro,
Yeah.
he got it. He got it on some fine ass.
They was chef. I mean, they was chef, and it was like a 5-man fajita line in that bit. I was like, God damn.
That's like that.
Yeah, it was great. Shouts to Tiffany. Shouts to Sam.
Uh-huh.
You know, the homies.
I think as we're kind of wrapping up here, you're getting, you know, it's the mid-year. And you've said this on your stream. I mean, you said it publicly a couple of times that, like, are you at the point where you, especially with either commentary or streaming, can you see the end of the tunnel for you? Or is it just is that dependent, or is that dependent on whether or not you get, you know, an industry job that you really enjoy, or, you know, you're gonna kind of ride that out? Because I remember you telling me before, like a while back, that you were like, yeah, bro, I don't.
I don't know. I don't want to be super old commentating this game that still has top players that are I mean, like, literally half my age.
Right.
Like, you know, like, Spargo's 16. I'm 32. Like, 16? Or 17 now. 16 or 17, one or the other. But he's definitely, like, at some point in time, he was less than or is half my age at the time I was commentating. So, yeah, I don't want to be 40 commentating for the next Spargo. But I don't know, you know, like, I don't know when the actual thing's going to end. I just know that this year I had Sid, big shout out to Sid, Tiny Sid, work on my resume and my LinkedIn, and I'm gonna start putting in for jobs of stuff that I want to do, because I do want to help people. I want to be a community manager and stuff. Just got to be the right community. So I'm looking at, you know, gigs or orgs that, like, I would like to work for, and making them best. Now, the unfortunate part about that is, you know, I get a lot of emails myself, right?
Yeah.
Of like, oh, we want to work with you and stuff. Those are the emails I don't want to send blind and cold that are about affiliates, because I tweeted this a while back. And, like, if you're still taking affiliate codes anywhere past being notable, you're an idiot. Stop doing that. You're just being, you're being used as a billboard. You probably won't make that many sales. And if you do make sales, you're not getting any type of that. So if I get, you know, sponsored by, like, Powerway or whatever, right? Powerway is like, we'll give you 10% of every controller you sell. When every controller is $60, the fuck am I gonna do for $6 to be shilling you like that?
Right.
Like, you know, like, there's no way I'm ever gonna sell like, if I sell $600 worth of controllers, I'm getting 60? Come on. I gotta sell 10 controllers to buy a game? Fuck out of here. So, know your worth.
That's sick.
Yeah, know your worth. But yeah, those are the companies I'm looking at. Certain companies that, like, I want to work with, that I know I wouldn't be sending stuff like that. So I'm looking at least tier 2 companies more so than, like, you know, I may not have to work for G Fuel per se, but I would work for Glitch, you know, which is, like, the one that's kind of coming up right now.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna catch me on, like, you know, G Energy. Like, all right, bro, you're bro, you're blocking, bro. Like, you're copying.
Hey, bro, I work for Gamer Boost, bro. You don't want to be a part of Gamer Boost?
I don't want to be part
I
of
just
that
made
one.
that up. If I Google right now, what you think I'm gonna get? You think I'm gonna get, like, a drink? It sounds like a drink.
It has to be, right?
All right, I'm gonna Google it. Hold on. All right, it sounds like a drink. All right, Gamer. Oh gosh, I'm gonna say it's one word. Whatever it is, it's one word. GamerBoost.co. Okay. Mm-hmm. GamerBoost.e. Oh, that's Game Boost.
Oh, Game Boost is that's part of your routers.
Yeah. I know what Game Boost is.
You know what's a crazy one? Like, they put Gamer on everything, right? And it's like, that's fine, right? But you know what's, like, a one that I still have not figured out if this is a real product or not? It's Gamer Goo. You're supposed to like, dry your hands on it. Gamer Goo, bro. Look it up.
All right,
GLO.
No, let me look it up. Let me open up an incognito window.
That's fair.
What the fuck is this?
You know what I'm saying?
Amazon.
Yeah, bro.
All right. So, wait, they got, is this, I was going to call it flavors, but you don't eat that. They got scents? Like,
yeah, bro. I'm still.
Who's buying this?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Who's in the middle of their game talking about something? Hold up. You know what I mean? That's the sound it has to make. And then, like, all right, I'm good. Like, let's get these games. What the fuck?
Okay, all I know, and I'm a peaceful person. If I'm playing someone in any game, and between games they're applying gamer goo, I'm swinging. Like I have to. There's no other choice. I have to swing on him. How dare you apply gamer goo in my presence?
Yeah, nah. That's nah.
Imagine if he asks you.
Yo, you need some? Yo.
Hey,
yeah, I got an extra. Like, no, nigga, I'm
bro,
good.
What if he's like, hey, bro, you trying to goo it up right now? Excuse me? Nah, bro, you trying to goo it up right now? Like, I got that goo.
Not the goo on me.
I got that goo on me. I'm sick.
I can't do it.
I'm sick. We both got Monster Hunter to play. I'm trying to see how fast I can get to high rank. I think I can do it in 2 days.
If you're doing just hub, yeah, I don't see why not.
I was told. Hold on, let me tell you. I was told. I forget how I did it the first time. I think I just powered through the village stuff and then did like 200 quests, like hub quests, and then I was done. I don't know.
I mean, you should eventually do.
No, yeah. I'm gonna do the hub. I'm just a bit because I gotta do the village quest anyway for like. I'm sick. They're making me play this game again. Next tournaments you're at, I know you mentioned them. Want to give them again, so that way people kind of know where to want to look for you and where to find you. You gonna be at Gimmerville, whatever that shit called.
Gimvitational.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I got you, bro. So next tournament, this weekend, as in tomorrow, I'm leaving to fly out to this Brawlhalla mid-season thing. So, you know, for y'all Smashers probably won't watch that. That's fine. Gimvitational next, CEO next, Gommel after that, and Double Down after that, and DreamCon after that. So catch me out in these streets.
You playing DNF Duel? You playing that?
No.
It's tough.
Probably not.
Okay, but
not that. I mean, it's not like I don't think it's a bad game.
No, of course. I mean, I already know. You ain't gotta, you know. But I know we own that. We own that multis though. Like.
Yeah, multiverse. I might look back into some GG Shrive again. I'm obviously still playing Tekken. Yeah, I mean I gotta see where my head's at because you know right now Monster Hunter is definitely supposed to take over my stream at some point. You know this expansion looked like it about to go stupid.
Yeah, and
I'm about that. So
yeah, I got soccer on Friday. I got football on Friday for Mario Football. And then when I'm not doing that, I gotta grind out for all my gear again, I guess. And then I think it's a 30th, some shit like that. 30th, 29th, for Daybreak, shit like that.
29th.
Whatever day it is. TK Breezy on everything, Twitter, Twitch, everything like that. Make sure y'all hit up the boy. If y'all don't know who he is, I don't even know why you're watching this. Like, to be honest.
TK Breezy on Instagram though, unfortunately though, because the girl who has TK Breezy won't even. I've tried to buy it from her and she just. Well, my mom, nah. Her initials is TK. Her initials TK and her mom calls her Breezy, and I was like, what a shitty origin story. Like, that's your origin story.
Can you imagine?
Fuck out of here.
Can you imagine? Hey, look. I'm gonna tell you right now, where you come from, trash. Like where your origin is trash.
Your origin is trash, bro. I'm sure your mom is a wonderful lady, but your origin story is trash.
That's
so I need that name. Come up off that player. Yeah. She has not come up off that, and I don't know if she ever will, but it's fine. It's fine, bro.
Okay. Tito on Twitch is still run by a bot, so.
Damn.
And I've messaged that bot. He never responds.
Yeah, you're probably not getting that.
I'm never getting that. I don't have clout. So that stream gonna be Monster Hunter, and then you're out for the weekend. You got anything else you're trying to plug? Y'all did y'all gaming. Y'all did that today, I think. Right? It's Wednesday.
Yeah, but Cody's. we'll see how long that lasts, okay? Because that man is
Zach Zeeks.
Every day it's like I just got so much going on. Who told you to take this much responsibility? Okay, you put it on yourself.
That's tough.
Don't be mad at me for stacking your plate. Now you can't carry it.
My hands are up. You are both my friends.
That's what I'm saying.
You are both my. I am merely here to have a good time. That's it. I'm like Vince. I'm just
imagine putting yourself in a position and saying, "How did I get in this position?" That's the Zach Zeeks. Anyway,
now, what people will never know, and I'm assuming he's going to see this at some point, is that I think we're collectively as a group, we're all pretty funny.
Yes.
However, no one will ever know that the funniest person is actually Malcolm. The funniest person is actually Malcolm. Like, no one knows who he is, but he's the funniest person out of all of us. That's the way we all talk is because no one was saying give it up until we all started give it up.
Yeah, I give it up.
Okay.
Yep. Nobody's giving it up but Malcolm Tell. Now we're all giving it up.
Now we all gotta give it up, bro.
And he's never gonna get that credit. That's
no,
insane. Bro,
that's tough. Yo, shouts to Malcolm, bro. He hates that. He hates what's happening right now. He literally hates it.
I see him in my Discord. I'm about to go pull up on him. Like, what's up, bro? He's like, why was y'all talking about me? Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Bro, we were just having conversation.
I don't know what you're talking about. You are our friend, bro. All right. Appreciate you, TK. This will be up on YouTube. All of his links will be in the description below. That's the OG right there. That's the homie. So I'll see TK in like 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all gonna be doing, but y'all be easy though.
I don't know what. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just stopped recording. All right. I appreciate you coming through. I think I can get to high rank in like.
Bro, I believe it.
You think I can do it on Hitbox? I'm gonna try it one more time.
Bro, why are you doing this to yourself,
bro? Like, I gotta know.
For what reason?
Look, bro, I gotta know, bro. Like, I know, but you're right. But like, the other day, I played TFT on the fight stick.
Okay, that sounds easy though.
It actually was very difficult. You know how hard it is to roll? That shit was bad.
Oh, that's fair.
I had to roll and then move all the shit in. That's tough. All right, bro. We'll bless up. Well, again, another thing that he'll never get credit for.
Well, that was DJ Khaled's thing, but he did bring it over.
But he brought it to the. He made it canon.
Yeah.
Bless up. All right, chat. That's gonna be it for